Welcome, everybody, to our Thursday, November 16th CRA meeting. We'll call this meeting to order. Is there anyone here wishing to participate in citizen input? Anything that's not already on the agenda? I don't see anybody, so we'll go to action items. We have the draft minutes from September 21st of the CRA. Any changes from anybody? Okay, can I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Walker and Commissioner Franey. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, we have the CRA Resolution 23-03 Budget Amendment. Isabella, can you please read Resolution 23-03 by title only?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Community Redevelopment Agency, CRA, Resolution 23-03, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Dunedin, Florida, as the governing body of the City of Dunedin Community Redevelopment Agency, CRA, amending the operating and capital budgets for the CRA for fiscal year beginning October 1, 2022, and ending September 30, 2023, and providing an effective date hereof. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners, this has been a reading of CRA Resolution 23-03 on first and only reading by title only.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Gao and Vice Mayor Tornga. All right. Bob?
Yes, Mayor, Commission, and not a lot to add here. Most of this is reclassification. You've seen some of this under City Commission. I do have the Finance Director, Les Tile, here, but a lot of that was just a reclassification within the CRA and the General Fund. So I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
So what you're saying is there's no change in the total value?
Not really.
Well, 28,000. Well,
Right.
that doesn't mean that's, never mind.
A lot of it was cleanup. It's important to note that the CRA can't pay for maintenance and can't pay for some items that are just not eligible. So this allows the general fund to pay for it. And what we did is we did something very creative there. We took the revenue from the market and the revenue from arts and crafts, and we put that in the general fund. And that's the way that we go ahead and pay dollars toward the chamber, toward special events. So that way everything is
Covered.
pretty copacetic, yes.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I do. The number, I'm still dialing in on it right now, but
Yeah.
that number, wasn't it more than that? Wasn't there a 1 in front of that number or something? Just help me out. I mean, what is the number that affects that budget?
Well, the total budget amendment is $145,000 for the CRA fund. And I just want to point out that these amendments were presented to your commission on October 17th as part of budget amendment number 2, the City Commission. These were all presented and approved by the commission on that date. So these are we're basically bringing these forward to the CRA board to memorialize those amendments, by the CRA board as well. But the total BA is $145,000 in the CRA fund.
What was the 28?
The 28. There's not one for 28. There's the first item is as the one Bob just mentioned for special events.
Yes.
And the second item was reclassing expenditures for downtown pavers, $160,000.
Okay, he was just talking about the.
Yeah,
That was.
right,
Thank you.
correct.
Jeff, any questions?
No, ma'am, I'm good.
You were done, right?
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? No questions. Okay. Anybody from the public wish to speak to this item? Seeing or hearing none, we'll come back to the maker of the motion, which was Commissioner Gao.
No comment.
Any final comments?
No, I have nothing.
Vice Mayor, any other comments? Okay. All right. I also don't have any comments, so roll call vote.
Commissioner Franey?
Aye.
Commissioner Walker?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Tornga?
Aye.
Commissioner Gao?
Aye.
Mayor Burzowski?
Aye, and that motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. CRA Advisory Committee Chair Report. John Freeborn, come on down. Didn't I just see you? You won the big bucks last night.
I never have cash.
I know. So that was nice. For those who weren't there, we were at a chamber meet and mingle, and John won the 50/50.
John Freeborn, Chairman of the CRA Advisory Committee.
Can you make sure your microphone is on?
Is it
Did I
green?
push?
Is it green?
It's green.
Okay, you're
Okay, just making sure.
I'm just not talking. Why is that on? It's green.
Okay, you're good then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyway, very brief report. We had a pretty brief CRA Advisory Committee meeting on November 1st. We talked about the Dunedin Looper kickoff. We talked about the Main Street paver ribbon cutting. Follow up on the City Hall demo. In our previous meeting in September, which I don't remember if I reported on, we reviewed a project for improvements at the Hanu restaurant, which was approved unanimously by the committee. One thing that we have, a little housekeeping that's going on, and it's taking longer than we thought, is we have one vacancy for current members and two standby members and alternate members. We sent out, we checked with them because some of the list is kind of old, and found out that the person that we had voted for our regular member is having some health problems and is unable to commit to being on the committee. So we're going to address that again. I think Jeannie was going to put out a call for more people. So if you know anybody that wants to be on the CRA Advisory Committee, let us know.
Okay.
Who doesn't like to be on the crack, right? Anyway, and that's about all I have for you.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions for John? I have one, and maybe Bob or somebody else, I don't know. Have you been getting any feedback on the Looper?
Not since it started. I see it. It goes by my office Thursday through the weekends.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I do see people are using it.
Yeah.
It seems to be.
Do we have
Yeah,
numbers yet?
Yeah, I
Any
heard
numbers?
from, excuse me, John, I heard from George Kinney that he heard from Louisville, they had like 400 people used it here.
Over the weekend?
Yeah.
When I see it go by, it has
last-
people in it.
Yeah, last, I guess, 2 weeks, whatever it started.
2
So
weeks.
it's been strong, that they've been very happy, Freebie, with the response.
Yeah, there are people in there, so that's good. You know, unfortunately, it's like a fixed number of seats,
Yeah.
so they can fill up. It's not like a bus where you can ride.
Right.
So.
Well, I did do an interview with Bay News 9 today in the Looper. We did some filming in here, and then we went and drove around. So it should get some good press. But
Sure.
what really stood out to me was how wonderful this thing connects. So, for instance, Meese Life, right? Goes by. They literally sit in there and wait for people to come out. Yeah.
They sit
Meese
there for a
Life.
while.
So that's a huge connection with a large chunk of people.
Yeah,
We know last week was
yeah, we-
Wines the Blues, and so I saw a
Right.
lot of people on it.
Yeah.
The route was a little disruptive because of the closed streets, but
Right.
it still is going around.
And then the other thing when it drives through the marina, so it will connect to the ferry. It can connect to tiki rides when tiki rides drop somebody off. Somebody can jump on the Looper if they want to go to a different end of downtown. And then it connects to the visitors who are staying at hotels. So I just felt
Sort of also
really good
ties in
about
with
it.
People on golf carts that maybe can't cross Alternate 19 or whatever, if they
Right.
wanted to, they could use that to go over to the marina.
Yeah.
No, the response from Freebie has been good, and as staff, we suggested to go up to Meese Life, because we thought that was a captive market there that really could
It
use
is,
that,
and
so.
I'd really like us to, I know it's a pilot thing, but if we could, maybe in your city manager's report or whatever, just stick the numbers. Sure. The ridership, so we can just start monitoring it.
Yeah, I was hearing 400 since it started,
Yeah.
which is pretty good.
It's just pretty cool, and I mean, it's nice to see it by day.
Well, considering it takes like 5 people at a time, that's.
Yeah,
that's not
they have
bad.
they have several loopers, but yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I was just going to ask, you said that, so it'll be kind of by day, by hour type thing, where you can really see where the peaks and valleys are?
See, I'd have to talk with George Kinney on that one, I'm not sure, he's the one that handled the.
I know it'll be by day, and I'm quite sure
Yeah.
it's by hour, because the gentleman that was driving us today said that it was all, was all automated. I don't know if it's because you sit in the seat and then something gets counted, or I don't know how they do it, but it's automated.
And my other question was, I mean, do we know, like, how many people are using it to park, like over at Mease Hospital, and then come to downtown? Or?
I don't know, that could be a little tougher maybe to get to, but not sure.
Well, it'd be good to kind of, that's the other thing, it would be good to see the pickup location, you know? Are you getting a bunch of people
Yeah.
from the
Right, that would
Fenway?
do it, the pickup location,
right?
right? Exactly.
Or are you getting a bunch of people from one parking area versus another? I just think it tells you a lot.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I
well,
know that they're keeping some pretty robust analytics, so I'll send an email out. And then, too, we have to let it, sink in for a lot of people. And when they see it
Oh,
more and more, they're
yeah.
going to be writing it. So we can probably get some really good numbers going here shortly for you, but it's still so new.
we're
But they
coming up
really
to-
were, when I talked to George, I just want to echo what Bob said. He said that Freebie is really happy with where they are with the ridership, given how new it is.
And the season's just starting, right? So, yeah,
And
it's good
I also
news.
saw a email from the interim president of the Chamber of Commerce who had some comments with Freebie about improving the map to show what parking lots it was right next to.
Yeah.
So that might help
Yeah.
tie it into parking.
Yeah, and they're doing that whole free advertising thing. We went, so Bay News 9, I pulled up my app and showed them the different ads and deals they had, and they zoomed in on it with the camera to show how it was helping local business, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
another one?
No, I was just going to add that, I know at Meese Life, since my mother lives there now,
Yeah.
they just did a big announcement about it at their resident meeting on Tuesday, so, I mean.
Perfect.
So it's kind of the buzz and stuff. Be interesting
And
to
I
see.
think the key too and again, George Kinney's been handling, I'm on the peripheral a little bit, but the Looper, they're acting as ambassadors too. They're showing people
Yeah.
different places and where they can park and do different things. So it's kind of a nice little additional value there.
Very good. Anything else from anybody? Okay, thank you, John, I appreciate it. All right, and then finally, we have the CRA Director's Report. Bob?
Certainly, just got some items to mention. One of the things that you probably don't see unless we convey it, but we just painted the mast arm poles there at Douglas and Maine. They look great. They tend to get faded with the sunlight and the environment out there. So we painted those, and we also put on 4 new clear globes on the lights. So they were yellowed before. So it's a nice little improvement, especially with the Main Street paver project there, kind of in front of GW and Costatina. So we're excited about that. There's a new, well, not new, the bike rack, the old engine that's at Cafe Al Fresco, that got painted and fixed up. So I guess what I'm trying to share with you is there's things that are being done maintenance-wise to make sure that the downtown stays, in very good shape. We also put in 3 new picnic tables at the John R. Lawrence Park. There were wooden ones there. We put in something that's a little bit more ornamental there. So if you see the tables out there, so people can have lunch and sit there and have a nice little venue. We've been restoring benches, ones that are faded and started to look unsightly. So we have a plan for that. We continue to do benches downtown. Of course, you all were there for the Main Street pavers. I think that project came out great, so we're very excited about that. And the old City Hall has been demoed, and we're now looking at the options for an interim type plan, then a full functioning plan. A lot of that will be brought back before you for input. And,
How long will the fence be staying up there?
We just met on that today. So we're trying to get some additional quotes and some additional work. I don't have a full answer for you, but we certainly know like to get it down as quickly as we can. Right now, it's a safety issue out there. There's a huge drop-off on that slab, and it's broken up. The slab is,
So it wasn't full of bricks like we were hoping?
No.
no. It is actually a composite of some bricks, small amount, some tile, small amount, and probably 8-inch thick concrete that's in poor shape. And we're trying to figure out what the best way to do it. And of course, we're very conscious of the trees out there and the roots and all, so,
And the time.
and the time.
Maybe
Yeah.
just remove it and put sod, call it a day.
Yeah, that slab is extremely large and substantial. It takes up a big area out there, so. We just met, Jennifer, I just met this afternoon, right before here, looking at what options are, and also met with Jorge. We had a big staff meeting out in the field, so we're going to try to see what we can do with that one. Last item is we're continuing to work on Skinner. Things are going well. We hope to bring the local funding agreement to you December 5th, but I'll know a little bit more tomorrow or Monday if we get back what we need. City attorney's been great. It's really working with Duke, their staff, and their attorney to get that in place with you. And the same thing with Duke with regard to the undergrounding. So these formal agreements take time. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have, but that concludes the
Okay.
director's.
Questions? No? Questions? And when we have Old Fashioned Christmas, which usually uses that corner for the carriage rides. Is that what you call it?
Yes, and the fence will not be down by then.
Yeah.
Will not, no.
Okay.
No, we're not
So
gonna
we'll
make
put
it.
some bulbs on it, maybe some
Yeah.
lights.
Don't say it if you don't mean it.
You know-
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, because, the kids always hang on the tree.
Yeah.
That's what,
Yeah.
they always play on that tree while
Okay.
they're waiting to get their carriage ride, so.
Well, when we came before you, there was a commission consensus, go ahead and demo it, and let's take a look at what we have. We got a demo, we're taking a look at what we have, and we're like, oh, geez, it's a lot more involved than what we initially anticipated, so.
Gotcha.
But we certainly recognize the sensitivity, we don't want to see the
Yeah.
fence up. And Jennifer made certainly a strong announcement with us today, hey, what can we do? So we'll do our best.
Okay.
And we don't want to spend a whole bunch of money interim that can't be used for the permanent. There's a lot of
Right.
balance here.
No, I agree.
And the thing that got my attention is that slab is at least 8 inches thick, and the drop-off from the slab to the ground is very substantial, so there's more to it. So
Yeah.
that's why I brought in Jorge and Craig and Doug Hodge. Everybody was out there today, and that's why we reported back to Jennifer.
Cool. Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else for the CRA that we need to discuss? No? Okay.
And of course, if I may, excuse me, Mayor, December 12th is that big meeting with the county relative to the interlocal.
Yes.
Just going to mention it again, so.
And I believe it's in our calendar.
It is,
Okay.
it is,
It
yes.
is? Okay.
I'll be there.
Okey-doke. Yeah, we'll need to get together and make strategy on
Yes,
our words.
yes, and we have not heard anything
We don't
back.
need everybody saying the same thing.
Certainly.
All right. Okay, thank you. We are adjourned. Yeah, the next meeting will start at 6 o'clock.